Hey everybody, this is Jerry McNulty, the Whistling Whittler. I'm here today with a project. This one we are going to do a flat plane carving, knife only, and we are calling this guy Joe. And Joe is actually off of the Stefan pattern. So if you've done Stefan, this is another one you can do off that pattern. And we'll explain that here as we get going in the video. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. Gaining new friends every day, so please jump on and like and follow and make comments on here. I love reading them. I'm going to be in Colorado Springs this week, so if you guys are in that area, come by the Carving in the Rockies show and stop by my booth and let's chat for a little bit and let me get to meet you and see who all is out there. But guys, this is a fun one. Remember to like and subscribe. The pattern for this will be available for $2 if you can't screenshot it or something like that. It's available for $2 at thewhistlingwhittler.com. So look, guys, let's have some fun and let's do some carving. Okay, guys, we've got our pattern here, our cutout, and a go by. So the knife I'm going to use today, this is Ken Silvern. And he makes some really cool knives. These are available on his website, and maybe I'll put a link in my description. Got a really cool handle, kind of really fits my hand. I've stropped this a few times, and it's ready to go here. So this pattern is actually, my wife is out of town this week, so I was not able to have her upload one to the website. So I just took this pattern here. This is actually from Flat Plane Stefan, and we're gonna just add a little bit of a beard here on him. So this is the only added thing to the pattern. And so if you can copy this off right here, go for it. If not, this is a Flat Plane Stefan. It could be downloaded for $2 at thewhistlingwhittler.com. This is our guy here, and I am going to call him. He was Flat Plane Stefan, but now we gave him a beard, and how about we just call him Joe? So I'm going to give you all real quick a look at all four sides here, so you can do a screenshot or whatever you need to do. But he's real similar to Stefan, just the beard and a little bit changes down here, but the beard coming in. So hopefully you've got that. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set him aside, and I'm going to put him right here so he still will tell me where the edge of my camera is, and I'll do the same thing with this guy here so I can work in the center. So first thing I'm going to do is this guy had a base on him. I'm going to go ahead and mark the base out. And this is only probably about 1/4 inch, not much. You can make it bigger or smaller. It just changes the size of your feet when you do that. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than that. There you go. So let's give him a center line. And let's give him center line here to mark the side of the face. And then right here, I'm going to give him a round hat brim. And this hat brim is going to come down at an angle right there. I can take that line here straight across and tell me where it is here. And here I just need to connect that line with the edge of the hat on the arch. So that should be it. We're going to mark our ears in here in just a few minutes. But to start with, I'm going to go ahead and we'll start taking this back right here on this line back to the ear. The ears are going to hang out just a little bit, so I'm going to Well, we won't do that on this one. So I'm going to just slice down here, do a stop cut, kind of work my knife to that line on both sides. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to narrow the face between here and here. I'm going to make this into a triangle. Now I've got this kind of line here where this bottom of the beard is. I'm going to work above this. I'm not really going to touch this as I take the face in. That way the beard is full at the bottom. And as I come around here, I widen that stop cut so that it continues around that arch part. So I'm pushing in and I'm stopping as I get close to it, pushing that stop cut in, and then removing the chip. And taking it back on the sides as well until I hit this line here. And every once in a while I come back and do a crisp cut so I don't have a lot of little cut marks from going up. And you'll see what's happening is the distance here is getting narrowed so that when I come across here, it's quicker for me to come across, and it's a smaller surface, so there's not as much muscle that you're putting into it. So that's got it there. Just get a little bit back further so I hit that line there on both sides. Then I need to work on this area right in here. And I'm just curling it up. I'm not gonna need to go all the way tight there, but I do want it in the front here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of look back and make sure that even this one comes down a little bit lower than this side. So we'll even that out here. There we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is establish where the bottom of my nose is. And I want to give myself plenty of room down here for beard, and plenty of room up here to put some eyes in there so I'm not working real tight. Right now you see this arch is right here. If I want to put the eye, have more room for the eyes, I need to take that out. So I'm going to kind of just scoop around here and give it that rounded edge in there. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to put my knife about here, which will fall about there. So let's go. I'm rocking it to create some depth. And I'm going to come and just put a little bit of undercut here and remove that chip. So while I'm here, I'm going to take that line and carry it all the way across here. And that line will be the bottom of my ears. Now this section here, from here to here, I'm going to divide that in half and come straight down. So this right here is my ear box. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just use this side as a guide so they're the same. There we go. So that's my ear box, and that's what that nose helped me get the dimension from that. And I already had the top because of the hat, so I'm not worried about the hat, but that would be the top of the eye line. So from here, I'm going to take this edge of this nose and I'm going to push it back into the face. From this corner here, I'm going to push straight back and start bringing that face back underneath that hat. And I did the first one on the flat, but the second one I did down the side, and I'm doing this down the side as well. So that's giving that face a little bit more roundness to it. I'm going to come back and still give me my center line and work towards that nose being more of a triangle there. Okay, so I need a little bit more depth here, so my nose sticks out just a tad bit. And we'll get this a little bit deeper as soon as we put our smile lines in. So, okay, and then I want a little bit of a eye line here, so I'm going to take probably about half of this, come in right here, and add a triangle, and then extend that on the sides. So I've got a triangle there. Okay, before I do this next step though, I kind of need to block out these ears. So with this, I'm just going to do a stop cut. And what I'm doing is I'm angling away from the ear, going towards the head. So I'm just coming down this line here. This line right here, I'm just going to use the flat of my knife to come all the way across and take a little bit of a chip out. That's all I'm going to do for that for now, just so I have a stop cut on that hat. Now here, to meet that stop cut that I already made, I'm going to push my knife in and I'm going to swoop it up so that it kind of comes in a little bit at that ear line too, and pull out a chip. So I've got this line, that chip that I rolled, so it's not a flat, it actually rolls up and makes this a little bit more narrow as I go across. And I'll come back here and clean it up. And then I'm going to come, I'm not going to do this back line yet. I'm going to do this line here. And I'm just going to pull a little bit of material out here. If this was a smooth face, I wouldn't be worried about it as much. He does have a little bit of hair there, but we'll be putting a lot deeper crease in there, so I'm not really worried about that one too much. I just want to separate it from the front up here. Okay, and then the same thing on here. Do my stop cut away from the ear. That one flew and hit the window. There you go. So I even want to do more here where I'm taking this cheek in a little bit more even. There you go. Okay, and this will not have a big long hair. It's got short hair, so I want to put this line in here. That's where the hair is going to go. It's going to follow this line right here and up right there. So, and the beard will come here. Just like that. So this will be the collar. Come down in here. But let's go ahead and do this line right here. Then we're going to do the sides, the beard, and I'm aiming away from the beard. Then I'm going to do a stop cut at the bottom of this ear line. I'm going to remove this chip. That's a big one. There you go. So same thing here. So I went across the bottom of the ear line, which I've already got. Went across away from the beard going this way. And then a stop cut on this hairline. So this is an awkward motion because it's coming towards me like a pull cut, where this one was a push cut. So I have a lot more power going this way than I do this way. And so when I get to here and it's settled, then you're putting a lot more muscle in it. You also have the ability, when it gives loose, to come back at you. So be very careful when you're doing that one. So right now I'm going to kind of round this beard off just a little bit, coming down here. And in the front, I can taper it up just a tad bit. There you go. Okay, so I want to bring this in a little bit more so that it has a neck. I'm going to do this side first because it's easier for me. It's coming in there. Doing the corners first, and then you can come across here because it's a shorter distance. There you go. Okay, before we get too busy on the face here, we're gonna do a little bit of these arms here. So I've got this line coming through here where these arms were. And this, I'm gonna use this for the arm line, and he's gonna have some pockets. His hand's gonna be a pocket. Come down a little bit, stop into this pocket. This will come up like this. This will eventually be the collar that comes across right here. And then we'll put a little cuff on him. And then this right here will be the overalls, but I want to cut this down here before I really start drawing that. So right now I'm just going to focus on this arm. Going to draw the same one on this one. This side, I don't know what it is. You get this rough grain wood compared to this side, it's a little smoother, and it just kind of throws your eye off. So I'm going to just lightly kind of clean that up just a little bit. Okay, so I had the arms coming just a little bit from this line right here where the bend is, just a little bit out. Pocket coming in. Arm coming up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle in towards the belly because that's where I've got the bulk of material. If I angle towards into the arm, it ends up making the arm skinnier, skinnier, which I can do that if I want to, but it's better to start with more weight. And him being fat and skinny, that's not such a big deal. So I'm just doing a stop cut. I'm going to do the stop cut down here to meet it. And when I get to the edge of the stop cut, the trick is to rotate your knife up so you so that stops exactly where this one ends. So I come here and do the same thing, and then hopefully those are in the right spot rather than being a little bit past it, I remove this piece, and you've got a lot of little extra lines in there. So now I'm just going to come through here and pull this chip out. Now, mine does require a little bit of extra cleanup, but it will be clean here in a second. Okay, so I've got that chip out there. And before I moved on to that more, I'm going to do this side. Okay, that one came out a lot better. Okay, so now I've got the recess here where that arm dips in. I need to take this belly down. My objective is, as I take the belly down on the sides, is to be able to see the arms from the front view, not just from the side. So I'm going to come in here and just keep removing. And it's nice to have that beard there as a stopping point. I cut myself somewhere in there. It's okay. Let me pause real quick and I'll take care. Okay, don't know how that happened, but I'll review the tape after a bit. Okay, so let's get this going a little bit more. I'm going to come in a little bit more on this neck here. Okay, so these arms here, to get them deeper, I can kind of see there, but all I have to do is just do another little triangle here, remove a little bit more material, and that gives me more that I can scoop out without giving a lot of extra knife marks in here. And then when you're done, you can come back here and do one final cut, clean this up, and then you're good. So same thing here. I've got a lot that I can take off there, so I'm gonna okay. So, and then this is going into the pocket here, so I'm going to do a little stop cut there. I'm going to do a stop cut here at the bottom of it. This will bring that arm back behind him too. Okay, same thing on this side. Yeah, unfortunately, when you're carving, it's not when you get cut or if you get cut, it's when you get cut, because it will happen. And just need to roll with it. Okay, so back here, I'm going to do a couple arms. And you'll note where I'm starting this, because I am going to leave room for that collar to come across. So from here, once again, I'm angling away from the arm. I'm using this finger to push that knife. It's still leaking out the top there. Might have to stop and make the blood stop. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, all I have to say is, can you make a sharp knife, bud? Thank you. So I'm going to do a couple little crease marks in here as it goes across the stomach. And that helps me, because I've got two different directions. It helps me get a stopping point for the grain direction. So okay, so I've got those. Now let's come around here. I'm going to do the front of the feet here. I'm going to put this all the way up to there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stop cut on the bottom of the base right there. I'm just going to put this here, remove a little bit of material there, and while I'm at it, I might as well do around the whole thing. That just gives me somewhere to stop. Okay, so I'm going to start with these feet here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stop cut at an angle going this way, and I'm just pulling my knife up when it gets to that bottom so I don't go through there and stop. I'm going to come from this way and meet that stop cut, and then take the chip out right here, and I've got my 2 feet. So now I'm going to do the same thing up here, coming down here, and here, removing that chip. Now in here on this part, same thing, but I'm just going to do one V-cut here, V-cut here, and that chips out. Take it all the way back to the back part. So it looks like this is all the way, but it's actually three different cuts. So on the front here, I'm going to take in the side a little bit, and put a plane there. Put a plane here. I'm going to take off this corner to match this corner here. Same on this side. This one I've got a little bit more strength there. I'm going to clean up the bandsaw lines on the whole thing there. Now here, this pant leg is going to come all the way down like this on both sides. So here, I'm going to angle away, stopping at that cut right here. I'm going to do a little bit deeper stop cut there, and then I'm just going to pull that piece off right there. So this is actually angling back a little bit under the pant leg, just a tad bit. So same thing here. And remove a little bit of that bandsaw marks. That's good to go. Throw a little bit of our creases here. So now that I've got this line here, I can go ahead and put a plane there. And that plane's going to go all the way down the whole entire thing. So this is one plane all the way down the side of the pants. And same thing on this side. Okay, do a plane on the back of this pant. Well, hold on there. We need some legs here. So I'm just going to go center line up to this section right there. Do my stop cut here. Stop cut here. Pop out that chip. So now I've got two legs, and then I can put the plane on the sides of the legs right there. I can give these arms a plane. What I mean by plane is I'm just removing the corner pieces off it. Kind of taking off the bandsaw marks. Looking good. Okay, so now I'm going to do the overall line. So I've got these bulges here, the way that we did that, the stomach here. So that's good because that's like it's popping out from having his hands in the pocket. I'm going to take this line here. I'm going to roll this up right here. That's his overalls line. Just like that. So when that is a stop cut, I'm angling it a little bit away from it. And I'm going to come here and remove the material. There you go. So I've got a little bit of extra. This corner comes up just a tad bit. Naturally, it probably wouldn't do that, so I'm going to take it down. And here's stop cut. Okay, so there we go. So now let's go ahead and put my collar in here. So now this collar needs to go tapered back into the head just a tad bit more. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way across on this one. I didn't do that here. I did it on the other side, but there I go. Let's go across the back. Another way would just be to scroll a line like that. And just come and pull that out that way. So, okay, I'm gonna move this corner here. That line back. We're tapering the top of the hat, but I'm not doing the front of it. I'm just doing the back of it. And coming across the top here, you've got end grain, so I'm holding the knife as tight to the wood as possible. I'm just kind of skimming across it. There I go, got the end grain handled. Take off these corners. Let's get rounded hat, or somewhat rounded. Okay, so these ears are going to taper back, but this was my ear line right here. So I'm going to push this knife right here. I'm going to remove that material. Make it look nice on the hairline so that it tapers down underneath the hat. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, so from here, I don't really need to shape the top of the ear because it's underneath the hat. I do need to shape the bottom of it, and I'm just going to take the corner off on both sides. Then I'm going to angle the ear back. All these extra cuts are just for me cleaning it up. Okay, so let's round this hat just a tad bit here. I'm doing this before I really start working on the face because, well, one, I want to make sure I get more room in here. So as much room as I can get. But the other thing too is I don't want to really thin this front out too much until I'm done. That way it doesn't break off while I'm messing around here. But I'm taking off the bandsaw and blood marks. Okay. So I've got this right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the sides of my nose, and I think my nose is going to be about like that. And I've got my center line here. I'm going to come up here. And I've got a triangle nose. So all I'm going to do here is just put my knife down here, push it in, remove the material. Push my knife in here, remove the material. Come up in this eye line, deepen it just a tad bit, and I didn't come up enough there. Deepen in the eye line. Okay, so I've got my little nose in there. Okay, so now let's come down here. I think I'm going to start up just a little bit above the nose and come down here with the cheek, and this will roll up, give it a little bit of sideburns up into the hat, just like this. And we'll do the same thing on this side. A little bit, and then up into the hat. So I'm looking at the distance here. It's about even. So I'm going to put my knife in here and just do a stop cut. And I'm going to do it from two different sides because it's hard to reach in there to do everything I need to. And then where that goes up into the nose there, I'm going to meet that with my triangle here. So it's deepening the nose this way, but it's also creating a little triangle. So so the cheek hangs out just a tad bit. Let's just come down a little bit more. Then I'm going to remove the material on the side right here. On this side, I'm going to remove the material underneath the cheek so the cheek kind of pops out just a little bit. Okay, so on this side, same thing. I'm going to take this right here. My triangle's got to start on the same as it does the other side. And then scroll this stop cut around this this cheek. And this is what I mean about tight and getting in there. And those, I did the other side with 2 different cuts, but there it is. So I'm going to remove the material up here from the cheek side. Move the material down here from the bottom side. And so I am doing this a little bit deeper because I do want to take a little bit of a triangle out right here that goes underneath the cheek. So there he goes. Let's clean this up a little bit. Around the nose a tad bit. Okay, so actually this one doesn't have it, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give him a couple little nostrils in here, or nasal flares. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to put my knife about where that triangle came up into the nose and just kind of swoop it back, just like that. So it's real subtle. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of it from probably in the camera at all, but it does give the nose a little bit more shape. And a little bit more pleasing. I've got a full beard here that comes out a little bit further than the other one, but that's okay because I'm going to take advantage of that for my mustache. So before we do that, let's mess with these eyes. Now the eye, I'm going to put right here, and all I'm worried about is the eye cavity on these. I'm not, go from the corner of the nose just around like that. I'm not doing eyelids or anything like that. This is knife only, easy. So the only thing that I'm going to do here is just stop cut this. I'm going a little bit deep, and then I'm going to pull out material just around that stop cut. And then on the corners, I am going to take the corners off of that. So I have somewhat of an eyeball in that eye cavity. Okay, so same thing on this side. Did my stop cut. Moving the material against the stop cut on from the eye side. Take the corners out. And you see the angle of my knife when I take those corners out, it's going this way, not up and down. So that the eye ends up being more rounded than what you see. Okay, so I am going to add a little triangle just right up here. And we'll give him some pupils. Okay. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a mustache. Center line here. I'm going to have this mustache just come down like here. It doesn't need to go all the way. Just need a little hint of the mustache and give it room for some type of mouth in here. He's got a grumpy looking mustache, but it's okay. Stop cut that. Move the material against it. this way and divide the two sides of the mustache. It's giving this some depth. Okay, and then this one didn't have much of a bottom lip, so what I'm going to do is just give him a deep mouth in here, doing a stop cut in the center of this mustache here, and just taking out a little chip or a big chip, depending on the size you want. Okay, kind of looks cool. Okay, so here, I'm going to do the cuff here, but before I do that, I'm going to do planes on the sides of these arms. I'll remove the bandsaw marks off the beard. This one's already done. Let's give it some shape in here. Okay, I can give it a little bit of a triangle here on these ears. Okay, now let's go ahead and give it some let's rock this right here. There you go. Let's bring it all the way around. And this actually feels like bandsaw marks. So same thing here. Come up here. I'm a little bit taller than what I drew here because I want it to match the other side. Okay, now let's mess with this hat a little bit. I'm gonna take the corners down on the sides. And here you can get carried away, but this is and put too much pressure on big pieces of wood, but this is where you need to be a little bit more delicate. Remove a little bit at a time. And this too is still ingrained, so we're gonna take the knife tight to it. And just work it down, according to that brim of the hat. Take off the corners here. Okay. Now on this right here, we're going to give him a little bit of a mark on the shoe. So let me use my finger as a gauge. Come across that. And here, just going to lay my knife across here, giving it a stop cut. Some material against that stop cut. Cleaning up bandsaw and blood. So let's give him a little bit of break in the hair. Just a stop cut, move a little triangle there. Give a little bit of flow to it. So, I think I'm bleeding again. But, okay, so now it needs just a little bit of a pocket here. Let's clean up the bandsaw first. And it's just a stop cut here on all 4 sides. Okay, so a little bit different. The beard's a little bit longer on that, but that's just how I drew it on the pattern. Everything else looks pretty good here. I mean, you could come back here and you could do some more wrinkles and stuff on the pant legs and stuff as they come down. Some natural wrinkles as it comes down this way a little bit, and then maybe on the inside here. Just like this, but that is it. Guys, remember to like and subscribe to my video, or like and subscribe if you liked the video. Then again, I will be in Colorado this week, so if you are anywhere near there, want to stop by, say hi, I will be at Carving in the Rockies in Colorado Springs. Stop by, say hi, grab a business card and some stickers or whatever. I'm glad to meet you and spend a couple minutes with you if I can. But that is it, guys. Hopefully you had some fun, and this is a fun project that you can check out and do at home. And here's the pattern. But guys, thank you.